Was good, sexies? So, we're back for some more Fae, and we have the Datamines for the Ascended Joshua and More banner. So we're going to go ahead and start things off by checking out the refines here. Now, it's still pretty early in the night, so we don't have every single bit of info in the Datamines yet. But we do have the refines right now, so I thought, why not? Might as well go ahead and start with these first, and then after all the rest of the info drops, we will go ahead and cover the rest. So we're going to start off with Legendary Erica, who is the girl of the hour, I think. She's definitely got me the most interested after I saw her B-Skill remix, which gives her just Kanto 2 and freaking Null follow-up for free. Pretty nuts. So let's take a look. She's got Storm Sieglin with 16 might and 1 range and HP up 3. Grants attack up 3. If unit initiates combat or is not adjacent to an ally, grants all stats up 4. And special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack during combat. Okay. Also, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is above or equal to 25%, grants all stats up 4 to unit again during combat. And also, if unit's speed is better than the foe's speed, reduce damage from attacks during combat and from AoE specials by a percentage equal to the difference between stats times 4. Wow. Okay, so she got dodge, all stats up 8, and special cooldown ramping with every attack. Dude. And then she gets Kanto and Null follow-up and also 15% damage based on the foe's defense per attack. Yeah, man, she's pretty good. Definitely did not disappoint, and it's going to be really hard for the other units to top this, except maybe Lucina. We're going to have to take a look and see, but she actually reminds me of a combination, sort of Brave Eliwood, where he got dodge on his thing, and then also Legendary Ephraim, where he got the special cooldown charge +1. Only difference is that the Ephraim unit has nullification of guard, which this Erica does not. So in some situations, it might be harder for her to use a special than him. But regardless, though, this unit is going to be really good now. So that's definitely a good job with her refine. All right, let's take a look at Myrrh up next. So we have here Spirit Breath with 16 might, 1 range, and HP up 3. Grants defense up 3. At the start of combat, if unit's defense is better than the foe's defense, or foe's HP is above or equal to 75%. Okay, this is already way better, because trying to go for a stat check with such an old unit like Myrrh is not really ideal anymore when all the new units just have such high stats. So the HP check is definitely a lot better for this. And when she meets these requirements, grants attack up 5 to unit, and inflicts attack -5 on the foe during combat. And unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. And also, of course, adaptive damage against ranged enemies like all dragon types. Alright, hold on. So, at the start of combat, she gets all these effects. If the opponent's HP is above or equal to 75%, or she has better defense. And then she gets the guaranteed follow-up, so it's like you could use this as Bold Fighter or Vengeful Fighter, sorta. So she can player phase and get a double, or bait and get a double. Very nice. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants attack up 5 to unit, and inflicts attack -5 on the foe during combat. And also, if foe initiates combat, reduces damage from foe's follow-up attack by 70%. Wow. Alright, and then they have a little addendum here, which says, for standard weapons, follow-up attack means the second strike. For weapons that grant unit attacks twice, means the third and fourth strikes. Okay, very important there. The Brave attack effect, it's not going to work on the second attack that they do, which is kind of a bummer because there's so many units that have Brave attacking now. Like, we got the Christmas Lysithea, we have the Ninja Korin, and so many units that can get powered up by Bride Catria. So, unfortunate that this wasn't like every attack after the first, but still, the 70% damage reduction is going to be quite powerful for her. Also, attack -10 on the foe, and then she gains attack up 10 herself. So she seems pretty solid, definitely a lot better than she was before, and could make for a solid save skill armor option. I don't know why they listed her here twice. Kind of weird. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Adrift Male Corin up next. Alright, Draconic Rage, 16 might and 1 range, HP up 3, accelerates special trigger. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats up 4 to unit during combat, and reduces damage from foe's first attack during combat by 40%. Okay, that's good. Doesn't have any checks at all. It's just 40% DR on the first hit. And also adaptive damage. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is above or equal to 25%, grants all stats up 4 and special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack during combat. Alright, very similar to Erica, honestly. He's getting all stats up 8. He has the special cooldown ramping for each attack during combat, and then 40% damage reduction. So, yeah, he's basically just a pedestrian version of that legendary Erica. Well, obviously she's way better because she has Kanto and no follow-up and like a million other effects. But this is not bad. Definitely a pretty strong refine for this guy. Okay, again, I have no idea why they're listed twice. It looks like the same exact thing, but okay. All right, we already took a look at Erica. I opened up a different tab for that because, I mean, dude, this is atrocious quality there. It's like he filmed this with a potato. All right, Kanas is up next. It's Kanas, by the way, guys. I was calling him Kanas. Well, I've always called him Kanas, but I'm pretty sure the way you say his name is Kanas. I'm still going to call him Kanas, though. All right, so Kanas, Ancient Codex, 14 might and 2 range. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, deals damage equals to 20% of the greater of unit's res or foe's res, and grants attack and res up 5 to unit during combat. Very interesting. Okay, so he does have a decent res stat there. So depending on whether his res is better than the foe's, he's at least going to get 1/5 of the damage of that stat. Just as true damage, which is nice. So yeah, that's not bad. At the start of turns 1 through 3, grant special cooldown count -1 to unit. At the start of combat, if foe's HP is above or equal to 75%, grants attack and res up 5 to unit during combat. Oh, dude, this is actually really good, and probably not too bad for player duels, because you could just walk around the map. You don't have to fight or anything, and while you're just moseying about for 3 turns, you're just getting -1 special trigger at the start of each turn. Like, it's like Time's Pulse, except there's not a restriction on it where it's like you only get the -1 if you're at the maximum special cooldown charge. That doesn't matter at all with this guy. He just gets -1 special cooldown count at the start of turns 1 through 3. So that's not bad. Give him Glacies or something, and then combined with this, like the 20% damage on his res already, this guy could be a crazy nuke, actually. This is not a bad refine. And also, at the start of combat, if foe's HP is above or equal to 75%, grants attack and res up 5 to unit during combat. Alright, so we have here attack up 10, res up 10. He gets a better version of Time's Pulse for the first 3 turns. And then he gets 20% true damage based on his res or the opponent's res, depending on which of these units has the better res. So, yeah, man, not bad. Kanas actually put in work there. We were kind of downplaying him because they skipped him so many times, but hey, ain't you glad you waited for it now, Kanas fans, that it actually ended up being pretty solid? Alright, definitely not bad there. Alright, we have Silas up next. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a better image of this, so bear with me, guys. We're going to have to read the very pixelated image there, but Silas's refine is Sworn Lance. He's got 16 might, 1 range, and HP up 3. Effective against armor foes. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is above or equal to 25%, grants attack and defense up 5 to unit during combat. Also, if unit is within 3 spaces of support partner, or support partner's HP is above or equal to 80%, grants attack and defense up 7 to unit during combat, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. Alright, interesting. So he gets a impact effect. He's getting attack and defense up 13. And he has effective against armor. So not bad, but definitely the most underwhelming of the batch that we've looked at for so far, for sure. So, I mean, big surprise, right? The only summonable unit of the batch that's 3 and 4 star summonable had to get the worst refine, right? It's like not even a surprise. Alright, but it's not awful because impact effects are not really allowed to be given to cavalry units unless you jump through some hoops to do it. So I don't think this is awful, but like I said, could definitely have been better. Okay, and finally, the last, we're going to close it off. We saved the best for last, maybe. We already looked at Erica, so let's see what Lucina's got. Okay, effective against flying, of course. She has a bow. Grants speed up 3. If a movement assist skill like reposition, shove, pivot, or future vision is used by unit or target's unit, grants the following status to unit and target ally or unit and targeting ally for 1 turn. If unit initiates combat, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 4 to unit during combat. Interesting. Okay, so when she uses Future Vision to swap with her partner, both her and the unit that she swaps with are going to be able to make a guaranteed follow-up attack on that turn. Very interesting. Okay. Huh. Imagine giving that to Reinhardt. Like, all of a sudden, Reinhardt just gets a free quad. Okay. Alright, and then also, if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, inflicts penalty on foes' attack, speed, and defense during combat, equal to 4 plus any current penalty on each of those stats. Example, if foe has -7 penalty to attack, inflicts -11 for a net penalty of -18. Oh, okay, so they gave her a Pelagian effect there, right? If units in 3 spaces of an ally, inflicts penalty on foes' attack, speed, and defense during combat, equal to 4. Yeah, so it is basically a Pelagian effect there, which makes sense because they gave her some debuffs on Future Vision. So, honestly, it's not bad. It's like kind of supporty style with what they did with her with the swap effect, giving the guaranteed follow-up to her and the ally. I'm a little underwhelmed. The Pelagian effect is definitely good, but I feel like they could have did a lot more with her. Like, I don't think this is really going to put her over the top like what we saw with Erica. Dude, Erica went from a nobody to a hero in like overnight, man. Just, they didn't even have to do the weapon refine. As soon as I saw the beast skill, I was like, yeah, dude, she's gonna be cracked. And unfortunately with Lucina, they kind of dropped the ball a little bit, I will say. Let me know in the comments section down below which of these refines is your favorite out of the batch. I gotta say, Erica 1, I don't even think it's close, to be honest. Oh, also, I'm guessing that the female Adrift Corrin got the same refine as the male one, because I'm not seeing the female's one on this list, but they both pretty much had the exact same weapon to begin with, except they have a different stat spread, so I'm fairly sure they got the same refine. Let me know in the comments section if they didn't, just in case, but yeah, they're definitely in second place. This is a very good refine for them. Only problem is them being infantry, I would say, is not really ideal without like doing a whole bunch of other things as well. And then Myrrh was pretty interesting, but I think had she just had the 70% damage reduction like what Brave Ike gets for every attack after the first, I think then we would have been talking. But since Brave attacks can still bypass the damage reduction on the second hit, I think that does hurt this a little bit. But still, it looks pretty strong though. Still, it's -5 attack on the foe twice for -10, and then you're getting attack up 10 yourself, and the guaranteed follow-up on player phasing or enemy phasing. Definitely not bad from Myrrh. So that's all for the refine section of this video. I'm going to go ahead and wait a little bit for the rest of the data mines to come. And then we will go ahead and talk about the stats and all that good stuff for the Ascended Joshua and other heroes. So if you enjoyed the coverage, definitely let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think. And this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, guys, and I'll catch y'all again in just a minute.